Hey guys, Matt here for a quick second before we start. 30 years ago, radiation from my cancer treatment felt like someone put an easy bake oven in the Chernobyl control room and said, fire it up. My skin came out somewhere between rotisserie chicken and Deadpool's face. The official recovery plan was a bathtub full of Vaseline and walk it off. You look great. So yeah, skin health became a thing for me. And that's why I partnered with Codex Labs. They make skincare products for compromised skin, including people going through cancer treatment, by focusing on the skin barrier and the microbiome instead of fragrances and marketing hype with fancy logos. Look, I'm just a guy. I want soap that works. Soap should be soap, lotion should be lotion, cleanser should be cleanser. It shouldn't create new problems when you already have enough shit to deal with. With Codex products, my skin feels better, my wife loves it, my daughter steals it, and I only put my name on things I would hand to another cancer patient. If you would like to learn more about Codex Labs and their products, visit MatthewZachary.com/Codex. That's MatthewZachary.com/Codex and use code Zachary to save 15%. All right, let's get to the episode.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. You ever notice how brain cancer doesn't send a calendar invite? No gentle onboarding, no orientation packets, just one day your dad's golf swing is off, and the next day you're Googling glioblastoma at 2 a.m. like you just discovered the internet all over again. My guest today is Drew Flugstad-Clarke, a Division I defender at Georgetown, which tracks because she now plays defense against a disease that does not care how organized your life was, and I know it all too well. Drew tried investment banking, she survived 4 a.m. emails, she painted portraits, and then, in June of 2022, her father Jim got diagnosed at 57 years old and died 1 day shy of 7 months later. And because the universe has a deep, dark sense of humor, she discovered the American Brain Tumor Association on a subway poster on the way to try on a wedding dress. Buckle up for the lesson in adulting you never expected. My name is Matthew Zachary. This is Out of Patience. Let's get started. Hi, Drew.
Oh my, wait, is it?
Surprise!
Oh gosh.
I'm thrilled to have you here.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
For the right and wrong reasons, right?
Yeah.
You know, what's the expression? We are all born of our condition, and you can only choose so much.
Right.
Until you have to choose something else that you don't want to choose. Mm-hmm. Right. But I want to start with sportsing.
Okay.
Only because I love the idea of sports. I've never been a sports related. My wife is grateful. I don't like sports. I can follow sports, and I gave up on sports when the Mets won in 1986.
All right.
And I haven't been disappointed since. But you have a beautiful backstory in sports, and I'd love you to share it.
Sure. So I played soccer my whole life. When I was little, I kind of tried all of the sports. I did soccer, I did t-ball, I did basketball. Quickly learned that I wasn't good with my hands, so stuck to soccer. My dad was my first soccer coach, and I just stuck with it. And then in middle school, I watched the Final Four for the women's college soccer tournament and decided at the age of 13 that I was going to play in college. And
as one does.
Right. And so somehow I followed through with that dream, and I trained really hard, and I joined all the good clubs, and I went to extra training whenever I could. And I ended up playing at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. And it was the best 4 years, the best college soccer experience. I talked to my coach like once a month. So it was amazing. Yeah.
That's great.
I know. Graduated 8 years ago and still talk to him. Yeah.
What is a defender? Besides a video game that only I know about from the 80s.
A defender is, I don't even know how to
Is it a role in the game?
It's a position. So you have...
Or like a forward or a...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have the forwards, the midfielders, defenders, and then the goalie. So we are the ones responsible for trying to keep the other team from scoring a goal.
So you slide tackle like a bitch?
Sometimes. I was known as a very nice player.
Okay.
So
okay, the opposite of that.
Something that my coach probably wasn't a huge fan of, but I got one yellow card in college and apologized immediately because I felt so bad.
Oh my goodness.
But,
shame.
Yes. But no, I was not the best at dribbling and attacking and scoring goals, so I like to keep everything in front of me and stop them.
How do you think that's helped you with discipline and framing and dealing with stress? Because if you were not an aggressive, take your anger out on the other team kind of person, where did it all live?
Oh, that's a good question. Internally, it's still in there.
Just pack it down.
Yeah, packed it down and then would explode sometimes. No, I mean, I think playing the sport, it is a physical sport, so it was great as a stress relief, even though I wasn't the most competitive person on the field.
Hey, you could still cut a man. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. You went into finance. Was that a choice? Did you have to do it? Did sports not work out? Like, what was your 13-year-old self? Where was that little girl at 18?
I think that I don't think I was good enough to continue with soccer. Like I went to a very high level school, but
it was that one flag.
It was the one yellow card that they said no more, we're done.
Right.
But no, I had a lot of teammates that played professionally. I just didn't think that I was good enough, and I also just felt like Georgetown was such an incredible experience that my time was done with the sport. I still loved the sport, and I sort of wanted to give it up when I still loved it. And I was an accounting major in school, super glamorous, and I just you
learned Microsoft Excel and all the fancy
fun stuff. Yeah. Yep. And so investment banking was one of the career day options. It was either consulting, accounting, investment banking. Obviously there were other things, but those just seemed like the largest ones that kept coming up. And I had a couple friends who had done investment banking, and I just kind of gave it a go. Quickly realized it was not for me.
Not that exciting, huh?
Nope. It's not for me. I have best friends that still do it. My husband is still in finance. No judgment or anything, but it was not my culture. It was not the vibe for me. Not the vibe for me. No.
Was it like a real cubicle life?
It was a cubicle life, but it was crazy. I mean, it was 24/7. You were never really allowed to turn off. So if you got an email at 4 a.m., you were expected to email back at 4 a.m. And so it just was exhausting. And I also just realized that I wasn't passionate about it, and I wanted to do something that I felt good about and that I was excited to wake up and do every day. And crunching numbers was not that.
I read that you would like to paint.
I do.
Is that also from 13-year-old you as well?
No, that actually is another thing that I will be forever grateful to Georgetown for. Was I discovered painting in college. When you are a student athlete, you're a student first, but you also have to find classes that fit into your athlete schedule. And so all of the art classes were at night after practice. And so I took a painting class.
With the emails from the finance team.
Yes, exactly. But no, this was in college and this was something I chose. And so the classes were late, and I took a drawing class my sophomore year, loved it, and then ended up taking a painting class and just completely fell in love with it. So I ended up minoring in art in college, actually. And then that disappeared once the banking started.
Yeah, I was going to say the 4 o'clock a.m. emails replaced your easel.
Yes, definitely. And so I definitely gave up on painting for a year and a half or so. And then after I left my banking job, though, it just came right back and brought me so much joy. So
you're a beautifully complicated person in the sense that you went to finance and art and sports, and now you're in the nonprofit space. And just how does that? I mean, hey, kudos to your husband for marrying up. You know,
I don't know about that.
You met him in finance too. Did you meet him while he was in finance?
No, I actually, we are high school sweethearts.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So he knows the soccer, he knows the painting, he knows the finance.
Yes, he knows all different parts
your
of my
secrets
life.
will die
Yes.
with you. I get that whole point. That's fantastic. But it's just like there's such a character in there that has so many different facets to it. we're going to get to your dad and that whole story. And like the nonprofit therapy half of the show is like, oh my God, why is this a thing that I do? But how did you start to kind of frame this identity through your 20s with all these complexities? Because, you decided Excel's not for me. You went into this own space now. What was that like? Pre and post pandemic.
It was and still is terrifying. I mean, I think I'm still figuring myself out completely. And
welcome to 30, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. Trying to figure myself out in my 20s, but now here we are at 30 and no more sure. But I think, my parents just always instilled in us that we had to follow what we wanted to do. Like their version of success was very different. So if we weren't happy doing what we were doing, then do something about it and change it and follow what makes you happy. And so I think I just like to find meaning in what I'm doing, and I like to just feel fulfilled with it. So I have definitely made some pivots, and some can say that I'm inconsistent and I don't stick with a job, but I think that I've worn many different hats, and I've gotten so much different experience from all the jobs that I've had that I'm really grateful for, but still very much figuring out who I am.
Hey, and that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
If life were easy, we just all do it.
Yeah.
I love that quote. I dug this up, this little nugget.
Oh boy.
Just honor board chair at Pingree. What is that?
Yes. So it was our honor council. So we
at Georgetown.
That's at my high school, actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes.
We're going way back.
Yep. That's where I met my husband. Funnily enough, we were both on the honor council. Yep. And we had an honor code at our high school, and so if any student broke the honor code, we were there to kind of talk through it and see sort of what the consequences would be. And we also just tried to uphold the spirit of the honor code with the student body.
And it worked out because you met your husband.
Yep, exactly.
Honor board.
So,
yeah.
If anything, I met my husband. So.
Yeah. You have siblings?
I do. I have an older sister who lives in LA. She's a teacher, and a younger brother who lives here in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I meet him?
You may have. He goes to the 5K every single year.
Okay,
but
so I probably breezed past him at some point.
Probably.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how the hell you landed in the fabulous world of the nonprofit people.
Yes.
Because that's not often something people choose to do. And I know you have a reason for it, but I hear you tell the story about it. But again, like you don't often get to choose life. Life tends to choose you.
Yeah.
So let's get into that.
Yeah. I say this a lot. I think you can plan what the next 5 years of your life will look like. Like my husband and I are like, oh, should we figure out where we want to live? Do we want to buy a house? Do we want to move? What do we want to do? And I think you can plan, but life just has other plans. And so I am kind of, I don't want to say I live in the moment, but I kind of do. I can't really plan more than 2 weeks in advance of my life. But I think I try to adapt and take on all of the challenges that life throws. And so how I ended up in my current position, my dad passed away from a glioblastoma 3 years ago. And I knew nothing about brain cancer. Wait, you
didn't go to Brain Cancer University?
Right? No, I did not.
Lesson learned.
Science was not my thing either. So, but no. So I very fortunately didn't have much experience with cancer at all. So
which is a good problem to have.
It is 100%. Yeah, it is a very good problem to have. And so when he passed away, I felt once again very lost and didn't really know what I was doing. I was still painting, but my relationship with painting was very much connected to my dad. And so I was struggling to get back into it once he died because, he was my first supporter as an artist. Every time I finished a painting, he was the first person I would show. And so it was very hard to stay motivated to do that. And I just felt less I didn't find as much meaning and joy in it anymore. And so I just felt so helpless still. Like this thing had beaten him, and I wanted to do something to fight back and just continue that. And so found the American Brain Tumor Association, and here I am. And I absolutely love my job. It's a really hard position and it's very emotional, but that part is the most fulfilling too, meeting people and sharing stories and building that connection and that trust and hope it's been the hardest and the most triggering, but it's been the most meaningful.
How old was your father when he was first diagnosed?
He was 57, so he was diagnosed in June of 2022, and then he had a short battle. He fought for 1 day shy of 7 months, and then he died right before his 58th birthday.
And glio comes out of nowhere for most people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the one you want.
No.
It's no good one, but that's a tough one.
Yeah.
What were his symptoms? I mean, again, it's not like, for me, I lost the use of my left hand.
Right.
That's the last thing you would think, oh, he's got brain cancer.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
What about your dad?
He, in hindsight, we're like, why did we not bring him to the hospital months before? Like maybe we could have caught it at an earlier stage because it was so advanced by the time he went in. His was actually, it was more emotional. My dad was a very easygoing, level-headed, just never rattled, never anything, just happy guy.
What did he do for a living?
He worked in human resources, but he had kind of retired and was starting his own business and just planning for life with my mom. But he worked in HR. And he all of a sudden got very emotional and just like his speech was a little bit slow. His reaction times were a little bit slow. But the emotional thing was weird. Like he was not one to cry. And so we thought at first that it might be depression. Like our family was going through changes. I had just gotten engaged. My sister had just gotten engaged. My parents were moving from their home.
Wait, in the same year?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
My sister, so I'm younger than my sister. She's going to hate that I tell this story, but I got engaged in December of 2021. My sister got engaged 2 months later. And then she got married before me in a classic older sister fashion.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, so we were starting this new chapter of our life. They were moving from their home. So we kind of just thought, like life is happening. This is an emotional time for my dad. Like maybe that's what it was. He claims that what really sold it for him was that his golf game was off. So he was like, we need to go figure out what's going on.
That's a good way to litmus test yourself.
Yeah. So it was that. And then all of a sudden it was almost like it was all at once. Like he went into the hospital for a scan and then didn't come out until he had surgery. So like it seemed to snowball so quickly, but yeah.
Well, let's take a break and get back to the good old fashioned grieving, bereavement, love affair we have with life.
Sounds good.
Having worked in my world of the nonprofit space, I've seen my share of grief, bereavement, loss. I lost my brother-in-law. I lost my aunt. I lost my grandfather. I lost my first cousin. It's pervasive. Mm-hmm. It's tragic. It's terrible. It's what do you do with the mad you feel?
Right.
No one asks for this. You said painting was not the same without your dad. Well, it makes beautiful sense poetically, if ironically.
Yeah.
How did your family handle this? And you were caregiving for just 7 months and it was gone. I want to understand that experience. For the listeners, how do people deal with this tragedy?
Yeah, I think at first, I don't know, when people talk about glioblastoma, I feel like immediately the grief starts when you hear that word.
Because you Google it right away and you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of anticipatory grief, which I definitely did not take well. I mean, I don't think anyone does, when you hear that word and
yay, glio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a cheer squad.
Yeah. So it was hard. I think out of everyone in my family, I was reluctant to accept that. And I was the one who was like, oh no, he will beat the odds. I just in no way could fathom that my dad was going to die. I could not wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was always holding out oh, nope, there's going to be some trial that he can join, not knowing anything about science or about that world. But so I definitely did not handle that well. My mom is the strongest person I've ever met in my entire life. And I don't know how she handled everything like she did.
She had to step up and manage everything, I would imagine.
She did everything. So my mom is a small woman. She's like 5'4" maybe. And my dad...
That's a small woman.
Yeah. And my dad was 6'3", like 250 pounds. She would literally walk him with all of his weight on her to the car for treatment every single day. She managed his medication. She talked to the doctor. She managed the aids that we would get at home. She cooked for him, fed him, like literally everything. And then also was a mother for her 3 children and had to kind of help us go through this journey. And she was the strong one for us. And so it was incredible. But the grief, we're still working through it. I mean, I think it's a journey that I don't think ever really ends. You know, it can ebb and flow and can get a little bit better, but it's hard realizing that moving forward, like, again, you could think you're getting past your grief, but every happy moment in life now is sort of, I don't want to say clouded, but a little bit like there's a shadow of, oh, but my dad's not here to see it.
Right.
And that's been something that I've been really struggling with and that I'm still working through. I have a therapist, so that helps too.
Hey, you're in New York.
Yes.
Come on, it's been mandatory.
Exactly. So she's been great. But no, so that's been hard to wrap my head around, that just like every achievement, every milestone, he won't be there. And it everything going forward will only ever be like 99% happy. And then there's always going to be a little bit.
Which is what do you do with this?
Right.
Right. Because you can't get rid of it. It's the wrong kind of luggage.
Yeah.
Right. And hopefully it doesn't define you, it informs you.
Right.
Which is how I try to interpret what I do now. I'm not a cancer survivor. I've been informed by my crap, and it becomes just piling on.
Yeah.
How you get there every day. I want to talk about how the oh, you poor thing theories, which aren't theories, they're practices. You have to discuss this, I mean, not even in your job, because that's part of what this is.
Right.
But even in practice, oh, how's your dad? Oh, he passed away. Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Right. How do you, you can't control people's knee-jerking that, but how do you absorb that?
I think I try my best to know that everyone's coming from a good place. And people don't know what to say. And you can't blame them if they've never gone through something similar. That's amazing. Like if they've never lost someone,
good for you,
that's great. And so I never want to fault them for trying to help.
Right.
But you just...
Here's a casserole.
Yeah. You absorb it and you say thank you. And then you get angry later on in private and then you move on.
Just punch the wall in secrecy in your mind. Exactly.
Yeah.
So your father passed away and then you're in this kind of like twilight zone for a while. Mm-hmm. How did you discover any brain tumor support at the time? Because I would imagine you and your mom and your family, you're clamoring for what do we do?
Right.
Did you just discover it in a Google search? Or I'm just curious how people find shit they never knew they were supposed to be looking for.
Yeah, mine was so random and so New York. I saw it on a subway sign.
No way. Yeah. That's very New York.
Yeah, I was actually, I haven't thought about this in a while, but I was taking the subway uptown to go look at wedding dresses. And it was a couple months after my dad's diagnosis. He was like deep into chemo and radiation. And I was just like zoning out on the subway, trying not to make eye contact with people.
As one does.
Exactly. Yes. And then all of a sudden I just see the words brain tumor. And I was like, wait a second, what? Like my head, I wasn't really understanding what I was seeing.
Right.
So then I looked and kind of went into focus and saw a poster that said the American Brain Tumor Association was having their annual 5K in New York City. And then I was like, oh, there's no chance. Like this subway poster is probably 10 months old. But I looked and it was that weekend. And so I just immediately felt like that cloud of helplessness. I was just like, okay, wait, this is something I can do. Like I'm not a scientist. I'm not a neurosurgeon. I can't do anything really to help my dad. But this is something I can do. Like I can raise some money. I can get people to go and support. And so I immediately texted my brother and I said, skip your plans this weekend. We're going to this walk. And we went, and it was just such an incredible community. It was sad, obviously, because you hear the stories and you hear people talk about glioblastoma and the people they lost. So naturally that it is very sad, but there was so much hope there too. And so it finally felt like I had found people that I could relate to, even without having to have a conversation with anyone. It just was comforting knowing that many people were kind of in my corner in a way. So,
and for the listeners, I've been vocal about this for a long time now, but the American Brain Tumor Association was the first organization I had discovered by accident in 1997. When I went for my 1-year scan at NYU, they happened to be having their annual meeting at NYU. So my dad and I were like, what's this? You think they would have told us about this like a year beforehand? By the way, here's the thing. No, we stumbled upon it, walked in. Wasn't for me because it was mostly older adults.
Right.
And AYA wasn't a thing yet. No one really bothered to be concerned that I was 22 at the time. But I somehow met people while we were there, and they invited me to come speak at the 1998 conference. And I've been hooked with ABTA, God, for 29 years at this point now. So I admire the fact that you had the courage to choose this. Maybe it chose you to our, how woo-woo you are in the meter there, that it kind of maybe chose you in the subway, and thank you, MTA.
Yeah.
But if something becomes what you didn't know you needed, that's been the theme of my entire nonprofit. You want to be the thing you wished you had, that you didn't know you needed because you didn't expect to ever have to have it.
Yep, exactly. No, I feel that completely.
So attending this 5K with like an hour's notice became this incredibly therapeutic thing for you.
Yeah, no, it did. And then so my dad was still alive for the first one that we went to. He had passed for the second, but we had the courage to go back, and then we went back again. And then when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life when painting just wasn't doing it for me anymore, I saw that they had a job opening for someone on the East Coast. And I just kind of, like you said, I think it found me, I found it, and it worked out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just try to put this through the lens of what I went through starting Stupid Cancer. I had to develop almost like a strategic numbness to the death and the suffering and the misery, and not really put on a happy face, but understand how to show empathy while I can't let this keep me up at night.
Right.
How long did it, or has it not yet, taken you to realize everything's a fucking trigger?
I've gotten much better at managing it. I think at first, I remember I would come home from like every event or 5K or meeting with a survivor or caregiver and would just cry. And thankfully it's a remote job, so I'm not in the office. So I just cry. But no,
your Zoom calls can be off camera.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I don't know. I've gotten a little bit better at just putting on a brave face. You kind of have to compartmentalize. But for the most part, I really do enjoy meeting all of these people. And there are triggers, but I think that the stories and the bonds that I've been forming have kind of overpowered those triggers. I mean, I need a mental health day once in a while, and my team is very...
Wait, have you met our species?
I know.
We could live in a mental health month.
Yes. But our team, everyone at our organization knows how heavy of a job that this is, and they know how heavy it day in and day out can be. And so everyone is so supportive of just you prioritizing your mental health, which is great.
And people in our space, in the brain space, are like, it's the least sexy cancer, right? It's the invisible one.
Right.
And it's not breast, it's not called, and it's a smaller percentage of annual, and it gets the least amount of funding and the most pity. And it's the most terrifying one, if you really want to put it on the oh shit scale.
Right.
Says me. Go debate me on that, people. Right. I had a sense of like hostile, quiet anger towards the fact that it doesn't get the attention it needs, but it's like the most severe in that sense of isolation. And you can't put your finger on it.
Right.
It's not a thing. It's not solid. It's not a thing. It's in your spongy head.
Yep.
How do you reconcile that? Because I just learned to I'll do what I can.
I think that's kind of where I am too. I mean, that's why I got into this field, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I had to fight back. I was so frustrated that it takes people so quickly, and it strips people of it just, I don't know. Like you said, it doesn't get the spotlight, but it's so devastating. And so that was kind of why I just was like, I need to do what I can. If it's not being done, I may not be a scientist, I may not be in the medical field, but I can get the word out there. I can raise the money. I can do my best to just fight for my dad. And that's kind of how I.
What was your dad's name?
Jim.
Jim.
Yeah.
Great. Flugstaff. No.
So that's my last
I know. I just want to make sure that I still have your last name as the best syllables of all time.
Yes, it is. It's Drew Flugstad-Clarke.
Yeah.
That is my husband. So that is my married name.
Yeah.
You would think that either Flugstad or Clarke, because it's hyphenated, would be mine, but they are both his.
Yeah.
So that was a choice that I made.
You married a hyphenated.
Yep. So no, my maiden name is Topper. 5 letters is so easy.
What was wrong with you? Why did you do that?
I wanted to feel close to my husband.
Okay.
I don't know. This was right before. And when you go to City Hall to get your marriage certificate, they ask you right there what your new name is going to be. And I was like, can I think about it? They're like, no, you literally need to decide right now. So in a moment of wanting to feel close to my husband, I chose Flugstad-Clarke.
Well done.
Yep.
Bravo. I was on your studio site. And if you don't mind, I'd like to link it in the show notes to our listeners.
Thank you.
You had a painting called Rainy Day.
Yeah.
Was that about your dad? Or do you remember the origins?
I'm trying to remember which.
I'm challenging you here.
I know. Rainy Day was.
It was a big one. It was like a 64 by. It was one of the larger ones.
Oh, yes. It was more abstract, right? Yeah. That one probably was one of the few on my website that are not really related to my dad. Yeah. But no, I was just trying my hand at some abstraction. But I guess it could be related and inspired by him.
I wrote a lot of music when I was sick and after I was sick. And I remember writing a song and I realized when I was done, I was like, this has nothing to do with cancer.
Yeah.
It's like, I wrote just a song.
Yeah.
How nice is that to be a little freeing and all these things like that?
Yeah.
Where do you find that sort of that solemnness that may or may not have anything to do with your dad, where you're just kind of you dealing with FedEx not showing up? Or the subway. You missed the subway by 1 second.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm
your
trying
happy
to think.
place. You have a happy place.
I do have a happy place. No, I'm sorry. My happy place is really just anywhere where my husband and my dog are. I spend 98% of my life with my dog, so he is definitely one of my happy places.
Wait, now I got to know the dog.
Oh, his name is Bowie. He is a rescue. He is 3 years old, and he's my best friend, and my husband hates that I say that.
Yeah.
But he's great. He has so much energy, so we spend a ton of time walking. We go to Central Park a lot, and that's my happy place, I think. That being outside, if we're getting really specific, there's a specific beach in the world that is my happy place. But
where is it?
It's on an island called Tortola.
Oh, in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I only know it from like Pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or Tortuga and Tortola. Yeah.
People always call it Tortuga, but no, that's our family's happy place. So I'm a warm weather person. So anywhere with sunshine
You're in the
and
wrong
water.
city, girl.
I know. I really am. Definitely during the winter months.
So what is the ABT up to these days?
A lot of things. I mean,
I know the answer, but
yeah.
I'm just
No, we're just, we're continuing to fund really important research. And I think what sets us apart is our patient and caregiver support services and educational resources. So we're constantly trying to just get the best information in front of patients and their families. Because a lot of times, again, you hear the word brain cancer and you don't really know where to start. And so we have so much important information online. We have a new clinical trial finder to help patients and families kind of navigate that process. We have a financial assistance program too, which has been really incredible in helping families who are financially falling on some hard times and also having to deal with this diagnosis. And, we're still just continuing to bring our community together and planning events so we can just bring people together for moments of hope in what is a very scary journey.
And that word can be overused a lot, but hope is really important.
It is. I think walk into any BT 5K event and you can feel there's hope. there. There's sadness and there's memory, but there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of incredible scientists that are making progress, and there's a lot of healthcare professionals that are doing incredible things for their patients. And so we're all just kind of trying to support one another and bring that hope.
Well, there's a loaded question here, which is, Stuart Scott, the late Stuart Scott, a sports guy, I make a sports reference, said that cancer may leave your body, but it never leaves your life. But if you're a caregiver, it isn't your body. Cancer leaves the body of someone you love, and it still never leaves your life. There's no lesson here, but you have some kind of like mantra or thing you tell yourself, I'm okay. Those are like cat poster things.
Yeah.
I just tell myself, no matter where I am, I'm enough.
Right.
And I'm the sum of my fuckery, but I'm also the sum of my awesomeness.
Yeah. I love that. I don't know if I really have one for myself. I'm not good with short mantras and one-liners, but I don't know. I don't know. Something terrible happened, and I'm trying to, I guess, turn it into something meaningful and trying to kind of just make sense of this terrible thing, because I there's no other way. I just won't accept that this terrible thing happened. So trying to turn it into purpose, or I don't know. I think that's what I'm.
Yeah, because distance doesn't heal.
No. Distance
gives you perspective.
Right.
Are you still painting?
I am.
Good.
Yes.
What are you working on?
I actually it's very cute. I did a little dog portrait for one of my friends who was having.
Is it your dog?
No, it's not actually. Okay. I've never painted my dog. But no, she's having her first baby. And so she wanted to paint the nursery, or she wanted to have a painting of her first child, her dog, for the nursery of her first human child. And so it's very
human
cute.
Child?
Yes.
What lab is she growing this thing in?
But no, it's very fun. I love painting dogs.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our broadcast day, but the bonus round.
Okay.
Do you know my bonus rounds?
No, I'm excited.
All right. The bonus round is I asked AI
a question
about you.
Okay.
And how it works is I feed AI information about you from the internet, and then I tell AI who you are and what I think about you.
Okay.
And I ask it one question. If you were a Netflix series, what 3 pop culture figures would embody your character?
Ooh.
And don't guess. I have the answers.
Okay.
Because clearly AI knows all. And you will be the determinant of whether it's correct or not.
Okay. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
You are Felicity Porter.
Okay.
A woman who makes deliberate pivots when the life that looks impressive no longer feels honest. Thoughtful to the point of overthinking. Quietly brave. She does not chase applause. She chases alignment. Her strength sits in reflection, not volume. When she changes direction, it's not impulsive, it's surgical.
Wow. I think that's giving myself a lot of credit, but that's AI's beautiful.
You are Rosie Gilmore. High-achieving, institution-fluent, comfortable in structured environments, yet constantly questioning whether success equals meaning. Intellectually curious, earnest, sometimes underestimated because she is polite and composed.
Wow.
And you are Buffy Summers. And you are Buffy Summers, capable of holding normalcy and existential weight at the same time. Moves through the world appearing approachable while managing realities others do not see. Protective by instinct, loyal, resilient without spectacle, understands that responsibility does not ask whether you are ready.
Wow. I needed this. This was such a good thing to end on. I think I needed
your AI
this.
Therapy of the day.
Yeah, my gosh. Thank you, AI. Thank you, Matt Zachary.
I'm just so happy to have you here. I'm happy to call you a friend. I'm sorry we met under these circumstances, but again, it's the club that you're kind of happy you're here and when you meet cool people.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Drew Clarke Flugstaff.
Close, but no.
I'm never going to get that right.
That's okay.
Your name is going to be in the show notes. People can find you out. What's your title at ABTA?
I am the community manager of our Eastern region.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Take care.
You too.
All right, folks. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Out of Patience with Matthew Zachary is a production of Matthew Zachary Worldwide. The executive producer is Matthew Zachary. It is mixed and edited by Kyle Moore. If you like the show, ratings and reviews are always welcome wherever you get your podcasts. If you have guest suggestions or would like to learn more about sponsorship opportunities, email podcast@matthewzachary.com. For more information about Matthew Zachary and Matthew Zachary Worldwide, visit matthewzachary.com.